Tonight's broadcast is about to begin. Thank you for joining us on Cedar Creek Media.
This is J.D. Bird. You are listening to Mabank Sports here on Cedar Creek Media.
It's showtime!
Everybody, welcome into another edition of Mabank Tiger Athletics right here on New Year's Eve, and it's going to be a good one here. We have got a interesting selection here today. So, of course, we're Cedar Creek Media. I'm Taylor Honey.
And I'm J.D. Bird.
And we have got the Tyler Heat in the building tonight I guess actually this afternoon. It's not even afternoon, it's morning,
It's
J.D.
still morning right now.
Yeah, it's still morning technically. So this morning here at Panther Gymnasium is the Heat going to take possession first and work it around. So, yeah, just a little bit of competition here before the new year starts. Of course, the district schedule already underway as the boys were able to get a big win over the Canton Eagles. But, had that Allen Holiday tournament and then a little warm-up game here before getting back into the district action as the Heat still working it around the three-point line, trying to figure out exactly which way to attack the Panthers here. That is number 15, Trey Madrid, over to Hartman. Now they're just working it around in the post. Let's see. So, again, good movement here from the Heat. Kind of precise on their passes, waiting for a good shot. But now we have got a
good
steal.
Defense.
And, it's going to get a foul. Not quite able to go coast to coast there is Ty Perkins, but I believe he is going to end up on the free throw line. And he will.
Yeah, some great defense played out of Mabank there on that first defensive possession, I guess you would say, as they did a nice job keeping Tyler Heat to just staying outside and not really allowing them to get it down inside much on them. So,
JD, I just had a thought as Ty makes that first free throw and is able to bury the second as well. We need to check the delay to make sure our audio is kind of. And remember, we were a little bit early on that last one. So let's do like 3/4 of a second, which would be 7:50. So, all right, folks, sorry, a little bit of shop talk here. Try and get everything figured out exactly right. So you're going to want to go, to the Mike Ox and do like 750 on that guy. All right, so Luke Carter going to dive in, lose the ball, going to be poked out there by Eli Anderson, number 2 of the Heat, but it will be out on him. So Panthers will maintain possession here. So, yeah, sorry, a little shop talk, but that just hit my brain just then. So,
do we know who scored down here on the other end for Tyler?
We do not. I apologize.
All good.
We'll go to the replay here in a minute, but I can tell you that was Carter Sims able to pick up the 2 points. All right, so again, Heat working it around here. Going to be a 3-point shot right off the rim there for Aiden Shelton. It was a good-looking shot, just not quite able to get it to go in. Here's Gibbs going to go baseline. Now kick out to Carter. Carter 3. Again, off the front rim there. So everybody still working off the, the turkey and all that kind of good stuff. Now, of course, these guys were in Allen, but ended up at 3rd place in the 4A and below bracket down there. So had a pretty good showing out there in Allen, showing some of those bigger teams what they could do. All right, so again here, Heat working around who are trying to, again, show one of the bigger teams what they can do. Of course, the Heat are a homeschool organization, but usually a pretty good group of athletes. They compete in a variety of sports, as there's going to be a foul called, as you see there on the other end. Going to get Luke Carter on the foul. Yeah, it's definitely, them, Brook Hill. There's a few of those schools, those, private schools or home schools around in the area that are known for having some pretty big athletic firepowers. 2-point shot that time going to clank out for Walker Hartman. Now here's Carter going to throw a bullet pass up front to Gibbs. Gibbs thought about a 3. Now going to kick over to Carter. Carter gives to Sims. Sims to Perkins. Now it looks like they're going to reset the offense here, JD.
Yeah, usually when it gets into the hands of Mr. Ty Perkins, that seems to be the case, as he likes to slow the team down. Can't quite reach it, but got it nonetheless.
Yeah.
Sorry, ball right behind me. Had to reach a little bit
Had to
there.
jump in the game there. It's like EA Sports. You're in the game. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it was knocked out by Cohen Starr by the Heat. So let's see what the Panthers can do back here on the other end.
It's Ty Perkins controlling with it.
Yes, sir. Still trying to find somewhere to go. Now gives to Gibbs right in the same situation. Going to try and go baseline. Puts up a wild shot that goes down. So it works out for him. Rising and firing. And here goes the other way as you see Anderson now kicks over to Hartman. Still working it around. Uh-oh. Almost lost it, but able to keep it. And that's going to be a three-point shot. Just a little offline for John Hall. Push-up pass is going to be taken away here by the Heat. Now here's Anderson again. Kicks over into the corner. So again, Tyler kind of working it around. It's not quite a triangle offense or anything like that, but they're kind of using a little bit of the principles. That's going to be another shot. No good. Offensive rebound going to be blocked.
Nice block.
Yeah, Carter Sims able to get a finger on it. And returning the favor there is John Hall. Kind of tips it out of bounds, but will remain Panther possession. So, if anything, we hadn't seen a lot of offense, but we've seen a lot of energy from both of these teams. They're flying around, if anything.
Absolutely. They're both doing a nice job of just competing with each other and not really allowing the other team to do much of what they want to do so far.
That's exactly right. All right, so here's Luke Carter going to try and make a move. Now has to pass out of it. Goes to Sims. Sims three. Oh, off the rim, but he gets his own miss. Perkins trying to back down on the baseline. They say, who are they saying it goes off of?
I think they're saying it was poked out by Tyler.
Okay, it must have been Hall. Hall is right there. He's been rather handsy in the best way possible. That was All right, Carter gets the inbound pass. Nice move. Can't get the finish.
Grabs his own miss, though.
Yeah, Sims with the second chance, and he finishes with the left hand. Kind of a theme of this Panther team as Gibbs going to come up with a steal as the Heat were trying to push it quickly. So here is Carter. Sims in the corner. Bang!
Got it this time.
I believe that's the first made three of the game. Both teams shot a few, but first one. And imagine who else, Carter Sims, coming up with it. All right, so Heat looking to answer back on the other end. Been a little dry. Nice move to the hoop there for Cohen Starr. That was a beautiful little up and under move with the spin. Perkins trying to do his best to match on the other end. Can't get it to go down. So here is Anderson going back the other way, directing traffic. Kicks out, three-point shot. Off front rim there for Hartman. Collected by Gibbs. Going to be brought up here by Luke Carter. So slowing it down a little bit. It looks like we've got a couple of subs getting ready to come in here for the Panthers. Good job to not take the third step as Gibbs takes one from Henderson County over there. I think he was about Malakoff when he took that shot. 14-4, so a quick little 8-2 run has the Panthers in full control by 10 points here. Here's Anderson, kicks out, thought about a shot there, was Hall. Still working around, trying to get it into the paint. Hall. Oh, there's going to be a foul called. And I believe that's going to give a chance for Jaden Collin and Caden Penland to come in, and they do. And it is going to be Matthew Cruz and Dalen Gibbs heading over to get a quick rest. Hall left alone for a three-point shot off the inbounds. Can't get it, but collected by Anderson. Another shot from three-point land, and there is a good one there for Cohen Starr. So Starr's got a quick 5 points that we know about. He might have 7. We missed the first 2 of the Heat. That was our apologies. But he seems to be some offensive firepower for the Heat. Perkins now with the ball, working it over on the other end. Carter trying to post up down in the paint, but Perkins going to give over to Collin. Collin going to be working with the left hand. Try, nice spin, nice backdoor pass to Penland, who has an easy bucket thanks to the amazing setup there by Jaden Collin. Now,
2 young men coming in the game and instantly making an impact.
I mean, running the 2-man game, that looked like they had rehearsed that once or twice. So here's Hall going to go baseline, going to try and scoop and score. Wow, that is what you call a circus shot. I don't think the Heat coach is particularly happy with the shot, but he will take the result. as Carter Sim putting on some move and, going to have his shot blocked. It was a nice move, but nice recovery there by number 24, Jet Bell. Shot over on the other end.
Backboard, and it doesn't go.
Fight for the ball, ends up with the smallest man in the court. And once again, who else? Cohen Starr putting in another 2 points on the cleanup there for the Heat. And they have closed it all the way down to a 5-point deficit now, 16-11. Perkins bringing the ball up. Coach Carter telling him to take things slow. Now Colin kicks over to Sims. Sims over to Carter. Carter has one roll around, doesn't go down. Going the other way here are the Heat. That is Bell, kicks up to Hall. And Hall now over to Anderson. Looks like the Heat going to be content to try and hold on for the last shot. 20 seconds left to go in this first quarter, and Anderson just now taking his first dribble. Now going to cut towards the basket. Let's see. So this is the interesting thing about high school basketball. No shot clock, so you can take your time. Results in a decent-looking three. They're going to say it goes off the hand of Luke Carter, and that will allow the Heat one final shot opportunity with 4.2 seconds left in the first quarter. So a chance to cut this all the way down to a one-possession lead. Three-point shot up, rolls around, no good, but the tip-in, they say, is good. So they fool me. Get 2 shots up in that time, and it is John Hall able to get the tip in to go down. Let's take a short break real quick, and we'll come back with the second quarter of action right after this.
Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
All right, and back to it. You see, that's going to get me every time, JD. All these different things. But anyway, we're back to it here. Second quarter of action. Your Panthers holding on to a 16-13 lead and start the quarter with possession. JD, basketball, as you've heard before, is a game of runs, and it was definitely that in the first quarter. Both teams going on nice little scoring streaks. Panthers looking to start out hot in this quarter. Here's Carter kicking over to Perkins. Perkins gives over to Sims. Sims going to work, try and get into the paint, finds Carter. Carter, little floater, no good. Penland tries for the rebound, but is just outmanned 2-on-1 there. Now Hall going to drive baseline, gives up, shot, no good. But again, as we've seen, John Hall scrappy down there on the offensive boards, and you see the ferociousness right there. Just kind of rips it right out of Carter Sims' hands. They call for a jump ball, and that will go in the way of the Heat. So kind of stealing a possession there once again was John Hall, who again just had that big tip in to end the first quarter. Now here is Hall with the ball, cuts hard to the basket, shot no good as it kind of rolls around the rim, but going to be a foul called against Jaden Collin. They're going to say a push for him, and that will give Hall 2 shots from the line.
The Heat finding a nice job here. Their kind of key to success has been getting inside, and they've done a nice job of being able to force themselves down there and, not get the best looking shots. Some of them kind of circus shots that just happen to go down. Other ones are, pretty nice pass to a shot that look pretty nice for them down there. So that's kind of been their key to success thus far in this one.
Yes, sir. Hall drains 1 of 2 there. Collin with it on the other end, gets down to Penland. Penland going to try and work down low, but has to give back up to Collin, who now going to dribble. little spin move, finds Gibbs. Gibbs going to dive in. Oh, kissed off the front of the rim there. Not quite high enough on the layup. Wide open shot here for the Heat. Bounces off front rim.
Touched the top of the backboard there. So they're going to stay out of bounds.
Now, I am no fashionista, and I don't know about the looks and everything like that, but I'm just going to say that John Hall is a hard-working kid, because to me it looks like he's been cutting grass in those shoes. It looks like those soles are a little green, so he might have a little bit of that farm power to him. You know what I mean? This
Yes,
Gibbs
sir.
going to take a wide-open three
Got
and
it.
bangs it through.
That's Gibbs' second of the day.
And you know Dalen, he's a showman at heart, so you're going to give a little look over to the crowd. I love it. Dalen's just got that look of the athlete, man. Rising Fire is good right on the baseline there for number 42, Aiden Shelton, one of the taller kids out there on the court, and he just used that length. As Gibbs trying to use a little bit of that momentum picked up from the three-point shot on the other end.
Finds himself blocked down there.
Yeah, so we're going to have a substitution there as well, JD, as Caden Penland going to come out, and Matthew Cruz coming back into the ball game. Looks like he's still got a little bit of a tape job going on that ankle, but nothing quite like we saw before, so glad to see that continues to heal. As Sims, a nifty little move. Oh, they're going to say it's a travel. Oh, man. Look good, but
Couple too many there.
just a couple too many. Would have been a great handball move. All right, so here's Anderson working with the ball. Gives up to Hall. Hall not afraid to shoot. He bangs one in. Ties it up here. 19 apiece, 5:40 to go. Inbound, it was a long one. I don't think anybody was quite expecting it, but it went to Carter, or excuse me, to Gibbs. Gibbs up to Carter, now back to Gibbs. Gibbs fakes right, goes left, almost loses the ball, but gets a second dribble because of it. Luke Carter, offensive rebound, knocked out of the hands. Now a fast break opportunity. Anderson can't convert.
Blows a layup.
And that honestly, he blows the layup, sure, but that was all about Carter Sims making a great defensive play, but then Matthew Cruz lays a pass out just a little bit too far. Maybe a little miscommunication between the two teammates is going to give the Heat an extra possession here. Ooh, fast talking. I got to get another sip of my Dr. Pepper, I'm telling you.
It's all happening so quickly here as both these teams are very athletically inclined, and they are playing fast.
Yeah,
Right there, Matthew Cruz going to try to make up for himself as he gets it on the ground to force the jump ball.
Yeah, and possession was in the area, or in the way of the Panthers, so kind of a stolen possession there. Seen Tyler do that once. Nice to see the Panthers even that up on the tally books. Now Gibbs going to try and dive in. Just not a great shot, if we're being honest. Now Cruz has it, gives out to Sims. His three-point shot going to be, if it wasn't tipped, it was real close. I thought it was tipped, but then it hit the rim, so I'm not sure.
It was a very contested three-point shot there for Mr. Sims.
Yes. He's going to try again. Nope. Gives up to Colin. Colin kicks over to Gibbs. Corner three. Almost got the Lovin bounce, but not quite. As Anderson, who's been working hard this game, gives up to Hall. Hall feeling
Got it again.
And Hall is on a run. He is on fire. Mabank going to have to start focusing on John Hall here. As Gibbs kicks over to Carter. Carter deep three. That was an answer three there from Luke Carter. I think he was just trying to give a little life to the men in the white and green jerseys.
Yeah, their scoring's kind of been halted just a bit here as of late, and Carter just trying to start the momentum to get them on their run.
That's it. Got another substitution as Perkins comes back into the ball game for Colin. Perkins going to be picking up Anderson at midcourt. So be interesting to see if that's something they continue with, putting pressure on the Heat deep in the court. Now working around the three-point line here. Anderson again with the ball, going to direct traffic now, dive in, gives over to Hall, tries another three, that time just slightly off. Another offensive rebound, but a wild shot for the Heat. Whistle.
They're going to call the foul on that one.
Yeah, they're going to get Gibbs. Didn't quite see. I was a little obstructed by a referee, so.
But they're going to call a hold on that one.
This is the guy who started the offense early for the Heat. This is Starr. Drains the first. So biggest lead of the ball game for the Heat at 4 points. It looks like we're going to get another substitution. Jaden Collin going to come back in for Luke Carter. Going to get his first break of the ball game besides the quarter break there.
Yep.
And second one just a little too strong for Starr. Gibbs grabs it, takes it all the way down. Now Collin with the basketball. Kicks over to Sims. Sims trying to find somewhere to go. Going to kick it out from right at the free throw line over to Perkins. Perkins' pass going to be stolen away, and here's Anderson with another breakaway. This time able to convert. So now a 6-point lead, and Coach Carter going to take a timeout, rally the troops here, kind of talk things through. Still got 3 minutes and 10 seconds, but you're going to definitely have to do some work here to get back into this thing before halftime. So, again, we talked about the Heat. Yeah, this is a homeschool organization, but this isn't just some, rollover club or anything like that. These guys, they play some of the best of the best. Now, of course, just like everybody else, they don't, they're not going out and taking on, some 6A powerhouses or 5A powerhouses. Yeah. But, I mean, they're here, again, taking on us and Mabank. We're a pretty good team, so you're taking on some big 4A teams. I know they've played the likes of, they play like Natchez and Frankston and some of these teams that are known for, being really, really good basketball schools. Slocum, those kind of places. So, these guys are used to tough competition, so again, they may not, play 4A teams every day, but they're definitely not unused to playing big games.
Absolutely. And right now, Mabank, they just have to figure out how to actually work their offense. Right now, they're kind of letting the Heat defense kind of determine what they do on the offensive side of things. They have to figure out how to force their offense onto the defense and make the defense adjust, because right now, the Heat defense just looks impenetrable to Mabank at the moment.
And another thing that the Heat do have an advantage, well, I guess one of the things the Heat have advantage is they've got a really deep bench over there. They've got 12 players there.
Yeah, an extra 3 over Mabank.
9. Yeah, so got a little bit deeper of a bench over there. Can throw some more bodies, and they're really tall. It seems like they found every tall homeschool kid in East Texas. All right, so Panthers again working with the basketball. Here is Gibbs going to try and find some space. Nice find.
Wow, what a find.
To Matthew Cruz. Beautifully done there by Dalen Gibbs. So Collin going to pick up Anderson all the way from the other baseline here. Does a good job of not fouling there. Got real close. Looks like Mabank kind of working in a bit of a man-to-man here. Now Carter Sims working on it. Stone driving the ball in, has Perkins on him. Trying to find somewhere to go. Kicks to Anderson. Anderson really nowhere to go. Gets into the paint, throws one. And they do a great job of keeping it in front of the line. Of course, wow. That stopped me mid-sentence. That was from, I say Oklahoma all the time. We'll call that one Nebraska because that was way out there. Another
man
pump
in
fake.
his face, too.
I think Anderson was thinking shot clock. I think he was thinking 2K, and there's no shot clock in high school basketball, young man. But, hey, that'll work well for him at, I think it's 40 seconds in college. So it'll work well for you at the next level, I guess. Have that instinct at least.
It's right there. It ended up going off of the Heat, so Mabank headed the other direction.
All right, so Gibbs once again working it. Gives to Sims. Sims cuts through a couple, puts a nice little move on, just can't finish with the basket. Stone pushes up to Hartman. Hartman does a good job to stay in control. Here's Stone again, working against Cruz. So decided to put a bigger body on him. 3-point in the corner with the man in the face there is Hartman. Had Gibbs smothering him, just able to rise and fire over the top of it. Jaden Collin now going to kick over to Sims as the Panthers need some kind of offense to rebound over here. Sims still working with it, gets into the paint, and going to be fouled. Let's see if they say, I don't believe. Okay, yeah, they do say he was in the act of shooting. I was going to say, didn't think it was before, but looked like it was a bit of a hack job, and that's what it was. First one well short there for Carter Sims.
Now that is something very uncharacteristic of Mr. Sims there, is He's got one of the prettiest looking free throw shots that I've seen, man.
Absolutely.
His shot form is fantastic.
And there's
Right there,
what we're
goes
used to
in.
seeing. So it goes 1 of 2 from the line. Got under a minute to go here till halftime. Stone going to be working with it around the baseline, trying to get it to Hall, but Hall is smothered. Has to kick over to Anderson. Anderson going to rise and fire and gets that one to go down. So we've seen him kind of play at taking a couple of shots, but we see whenever he wants to, he can rise and fire that, and effectively at that. So here is Colin. Almost loses the dribble, does a great job of somehow keeping it alive.
Looking for somewhere to go for safety, and
Then loses the ball, just kicked out of his, or plucked out of his hand and off of the arm there by Anderson. So again, super active hands. He does not look happy that Colin's going to be picking up again from the baseline. Looks like maybe an official's timeout here.
not sure on that one. I think they were asking for a change in time or something. Not exactly sure on that.
Not positive, but either way, we're back into it, and it's Hall going to be working with the basketball. Makes a nice little move. Now Anderson with it, sitting on top, dribbling out to his right. Going to keep going, go baseline. Kicks over to Stone. Stone's three. Rattles around, does not go down. 1 3/4 seconds. They're going to say goes off of Dalen Gibbs. So as we saw, now I feel
It's
a little,
like almost like a mirror from the last quarter.
I feel a little more confident in saying there's probably only one shot here at 1.74 seconds. Going to be Anderson doing the inbounding. Kicks over. 3-point shot, no good there for Aiden Shelton. So, all right, well, JD definitely was a hot start for Mabank, and then it's kind of slowed down there in the second quarter. And if I know anything about Coach Carter, he is not going to be the most excited about the way things went in the second quarter. So I would expect a more fired-up version of the Mabank Panthers coming out in the third quarter. Just one of those, famous Tracy Carter pep talks. So, but anyway, I guess, we didn't, unfortunately, due to some Wi-Fi issues, we weren't able to do the boys game last week there in Canton, but we really haven't got to do a whole lot of boys games this year just based on where they've been and kind of the schedules. But now, of course, with the district coming through and everything, if things are going to get better, we'll have a lot more boys games. But the last time we saw the boys, they were playing against Australia. So that was a really interesting game, to be honest with you. It had its moments like this one where, it looked like Team Australia was really going to get away. But Mabank was able to fight back, get the win over those guys, and I'm telling you, it was a heck of a game. If you didn't get to watch that one, we've got a little bit of a highlight package here for you we figured y'all might like to see. So without further ado, here is some highlights from the boys game against the St. Joey's College Joeys. What was it? Right outside of Sydney, right? So it was like right
Something
outside
like
of
that, yeah.
Sydney, Australia. So go ahead.
All righty. Up there dribbling around, going to give it over as now it's inside with Penland. Nice back down there in the post. Penland going to turn around and put it in. Colin trying to set up the offense for Mabank here. Ooh, three-point attempt coming for Carter, and he's got it. Luke Carter. Man, they're coming up and giving some resistance, but Luke Carter going to take a three in the face of Burt and knocks it down.
That was
Colin, ooh, able to get a nice pass right there to Luke Carter going towards the basket. And Carter at the rim is going to put it up and put it in.
impressive skill to have this young.
And Luke Carter right there. Wow, what a great pass from Carter. The awareness on that one. And he's going to look to go on the drive. Nice find to Sims right there. And Carter picks himself up another assist. Throw for him. And his shot form looks just as pretty.
Look at the defense back there on that end.
And here we go. Gibbs heading down before everybody else is going to get the offensive side of things again. Gibbs going to go on the drive, puts up the floater right there. Through the contact, able to get it to fall.
And that's
Carter has it from Mabank. He's going to go with a drive of his own, put it up and put it in right there in front of the rim. Sims back to Carter. Carter going to go for the drive. Turnaround jumper for Mr. Carter. Oh, my goodness, that's going to fall. Wow.
That was dirty.
Final seconds here, period.
At the top of the block. Nice feed to Carter. Carter kicks out to Sims.
Sims
buries
oh,
it.
goodness.
That corner three is just property of Carter Sims.
3 for
That was a nice little fake
Great
over by
job.
Perkins. Got him to bite, got some points on the board. Sims with a nice little move to the bucket. Man,
Great
it stays
job.
perfect. I mean, a little English off the front of the rim there. Somehow gets to spin down and in. Let's see what Athens fundamentally sound for Joey's team. Now here's Penland into the paint. Gets it to go
Wow.
down. That was a fight to get it there, but he got it right between his hands there. Not a well-advised shot by Australia there, but somehow, well, makes a bad into a good there. Liam Timbrell knocking down the three. Back to a 5-point ball game here, 47-42. Carter trying to get some
eye off the glass.
Wow, before I can even get the words out of my mouth, he just puts on a stunner there for 2 points.
Nice block by
there.
Gibbs.
I was just about to say, we got body shots going on there, but that's a big play. Deep three. Good! Woo! NBA range right there. My goodness, had to let out the scream there. Working out the last bit of this clock here, I do believe. We're down to 20 seconds. No, that's going to be a nice little rip-up shot there for Athens. Now Mabank going to have the last chance. And that is the good Reverend with a little turnaround, quick two-pointer. Working with it, gives to the good Reverend. Oh, beautiful pass
It's fine.
from Luke Carter into Kate Penland's hand. Gives you a wide open shot and drive to the lane. Tried to get a little English on it.
Oh,
Collins
man.
breaking away, using that speed. Nice touch to be able to finish with a little finger roll. And it works into the paint. Gives to Carter. Carter finds Sims open. Sims going to dive in, put up the floater.
Got
Good.
it.
Kissed off the front of the rim, was good on the second bounce. Collins gives up to Gibbs. Gibbs trying to find some room. Nice shot
Over.
and in there for our boy Koyan Dover.
Hey Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right of Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doubleKphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
All right, and back here to it. Still got about a minute to go before halftime. So, again, JD, we talked about it there, or not before halftime, until the second half is what I meant. But we were talking about it there before halftime is what I was thinking. Yeah, it's kind of got a little complacent out there. Again, somebody had seen these guys play, quite a few times at this point, 4 or 5 times now. These guys, we've seen them with much, much more energy, and we were just talking about it here. Good save. Appreciate that. The referee just saved all of our equipment there. But we were talking about it just between us here. We think there's a new level of I don't want to say anger because that's not maybe the right way to describe it.
I'd say frustration.
Frustration. That's a good way. I mean, Coach Carter got quiet there in the second quarter. You can tell he's wanting somebody on this team to step up and take that leadership role. And as we saw, I mean, he sat on the end of the bench for about an extra minute and a half after that halftime buzzer and just he wasn't writing anything. He wasn't really looking at anything. He just kind of sitting there looking and
observing.
Exactly, kind of just looking at an empty court. And I'm telling you, I'd have paid $1 million to be a fly on the wall for that locker room speech. And it seems like things are a little bit calmer now, but we'll see. Well, I guess there never were not calm, I guess, but at least that we saw. But we'll see. We'll see if the halftime motivation works out here for these Panthers. Again, been playing a lot of basketball here. They do seem like they're playing a little bit more active here in the first 20 seconds of this one. So let's see what they can do on offense. It's Carter Sims going to be working it around here. Gives over to Perkins. Perkins trying to find somewhere to go with the basketball. Going to step back, reset the offense here. Now Gibbs with it. Going to try and go into the paint. Shot going to be blocked by Hall. And Hall going to take it the other way.
Slow it down a little bit.
Yes, sir. Kicks over to Stone. Stone now trying to find somewhere to go with the basketball. Looks like he's going to set things up as well. Kicks down to Shelton. Shelton going to hand back off to Hall. Now here's Anderson. Kicks over to Stone. Thought about a deep three. Going to shoot one from the free throw line. Easy as a free throw right there. 2 points for Star. I keep saying Stone. I apologize. It's Star. I do apologize. Here's Cruz trying to get a couple back, and that's not something you see all the time. Just stuck right there.
Straight up in there.
And you don't, sometimes you see it on like a three-point shot or like a corner shot. You don't much of the time see it from a layup.
That was a powerful layup that just came out of him right there.
So Luke Carter still with the basketball. Gonna be working it around. Kicks over to Carter Sims. Sims over to Gibbs. Gibbs back to Carter. Going to rise with the left hand. No good. And going to go off of the Heat. They're going to change the call and say it goes off the Panthers. Switch it the other way. And it is going to be Anderson bringing it up the court here. Working it around. This is Hartman trying to find somewhere to go along the baseline. Finds Anderson, kicks back to Hartman. Hartman three, banks off back iron, but again, offensive rebound by John Hall. His second chance shot no good. Rebounded by Luke Carter. Carter's going to get out and run here, try and set things up. Takes a three, no good. Good job there by Hartman. Touched the ball, almost went out of bounds, but able to rush over and collect it. Now Anderson working with it, kicks back over to Hartman. Hartman over to Starr. Anderson again, going to be working from that corner. Kicked it back out to Hartman. Now Anderson going to work baseline. Thought about a little inside pass, but thrown off the leg of Mabank, able to be collected by the Panthers. Carter again going to take a three. Again, no good. So banks around, but no good. Now Hall loses the ball, but able to get back possession of it. Hartman went baseline but lost the ball. Heat still able to retain possession after a little bit of a scramble. Now Anderson going to be working with it. Kicks back over to Hall. Now that is Shelton kicks in. That was Starr once again able to pick up a couple of points. He picked up most of the early points for the Heat. It kind of slowed down a little bit, but see if he heats back up for them again, no pun intended. 34-22, and Carter going to get an easy one. Yeah, that was all set up there by Carter Sims, the Carter-to-Carter connection, as we like to call it.
Anderson again going to be bringing up for the Heat, working against Perkins. Tries to find someone, gives to Hall, who takes a three, off back iron. Rebound by Perkins, good job. Couple of Heat were surrounding him. Kicks up here to Carter. Carter, nice move around the baseline, just can't get the finish. He thinks he was fouled, but no call. Here is Starr again, going to take a wide open three and buries it. So yeah, you leave Starr wide open. We've seen he will make you pay. Gonna believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood, like 10 points for him now, yeah?
Yeah, he's over double digits now.
Yeah. All right, so Perkins going to be working with the basketball, gives to Gibbs. Gibbs now kicks over to the, well, a little Carter connection again, as this time it goes the three-point route. Again, Mabank trying to find some life here. Getting a stop would be big, but as I say it, easy 3 points there for Walker Hartman. Just kind of spins into the paint. Now Gibbs throws one away on the other end. Little discombobulation between him and Matthew Cruz. And it looks like Coach Carter is going to call another timeout. Still not liking what he's seeing from the guys. It's going to be a short one here, though.
Yeah, I think he just needed his team to take a second, chill out, as they were starting to make progress on cutting down that lead, and then next thing you know, it's just starting to keep on going out from you. So you kind of have to take a second, recuperate yourself, and figure out what it is you're going to have to do to be able to really close that distance and be able to get yourself back into this one.
That is exactly right, JD. Do want to shoot a congratulation over to the Lady Panthers. They had a really good showing at that Burke Burnett varsity tournament. I think they only lost one game during that stretch. Yeah, they went 3-1 there. Only loss was to Burke Burnett, who was hosting the tournament and are traditionally a powerhouse basketball team. So I want to say good job to them. Their next basketball game be coming up on Friday. That will be here against the Lady Vandals. Game will be played at 6:15. I believe the boys will be playing same guys, same night. Usually those district schedules align like that. So here is Penny, who gave up to Anderson, but first time we'd called his name in the ball game. Here's Starr again working with it, going to give up to Hall. Going to take a corner shot, no good. Corner elbow-ish area, I should say. And just to double check, yes, and it will be the Vandals here. 7:30 for the Panthers ball game. They're going to call a foul here before the shot. Carter Sims had one go down, but they're going to call Anderson for a penalty before the shot went down. So that will negate the shot and have the Panthers inbounding from under their own basket. Inbound goes to Caden Penland, who's into the ball game. Carter Sims going to try and work down the baseline. Has to kick out, gives over to Colin, who's into the ball game as well. Colin just loses his feet, and Heat able to pick it up after a little bit of misalignment. Penny, three-pointer, kind of a flat shot, ends up off the front of the iron there. Carter Sims now going to work it down the other end, has to kick over to Jaden Collin. Collin working from in the corner, going to rise and fire, no good, but gets his zone. Nope, almost had his own miss, but John Hall once again able to take it out of the hands of another Panther. Here's a little pop shot for Starr, no good, rebounded by Carter Sims. Now Jaden Collin with it, working from the three-point line. Kicks it up, has his pass tipped away. It was a good effort there by Eli Anderson, just not quite able to control the basketball. So we'll go back into the hands of the Panthers. We do have the good Reverend making an appearance into the ball game here, coming in for Dalen Gibbs.
I believe his first appearance in the game.
Yes, sir. So Perkins now going to be setting up the offense for the Panthers. Jaden Collin. Trap, tries to get it to Penland. Penland couldn't handle it, but a good job there by the good Reverend. Be able to get over and pick it up. For anybody who doesn't know, that is, of course, what we call Mr. Rev Neighbors.
forget not everybody knows our inside jokes here. As three-pointer for Carter Sims off, but
Grabs his own
rebounded by
miss.
the Panthers. Yes, sir. Feed inside to Penland, not able to be controlled. And it will be the Heat going the other way. And we're getting some substitutions here for the Heat. It looks like
it looks
Hall.
like Luke Carter also came back in for Mabank.
So Anderson bringing it across court. Looks like he's just going to take it all himself, and he does. And, wow, awkward shot gets it to go down. We've seen a couple of those so far from the Heat. They seem to be the circus masters over here making those circus shots.
Nice acrobatic shots.
Yeah. Call them Ringling and Barnum and Bailey. So 40 seconds left to go here. A 14-point lead here for the Heat. And just a miscommunication again there. Carter trying to get it over to Neighbors, and Neighbors wasn't ready for the pass. Ends up in a foul on the other end. Luke Carter stepping in front, giving a foul to prevent the easy bucket there for the Heat.
Make them go earn it.
Yes, sir, and that is going to be Walker Hartman. First one off front iron, no good. And second shot coming up and off iron, so can't. I guess it turns into a good foul there for Luke Carter. Turns into no points for the Heat. Chance to make up a couple of here as Luke Carter going to kick out to Colin. Three off front rim, but rebounded by Colin, who's going to take some contact and make a circus shot of his own.
That was a circus shot, to
That
say the
was.
least.
So maybe that'll be something to get the Panthers going here. Showing a little life. Will be a blocking foul by Colin. It will result in a inbound pass here for the Heat. 6.8 seconds to go here. It is a 12-point lead for the visiting Heat. Going to be a kick ball here by Jaden Collin. So again, scrapping, clawing, fighting, trying to figure out a way to get it to go. And got another substitution as Jet Bell going to come out for Kedron Penny. Going to be Hartman doing the inbounding. Gets the ball back, going to try and find some space. Puts up a shot, is no good. Collected by Luke Carter, who fires a pretty good shot from the other end of the court, but just not able to get it to go down. So it's a 12-point deficit. Panthers going to have a lot of work to do here in the fourth quarter. We'll see if they can do it after we come back right here on Cedar Creek Media.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doubleKphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, and back to it here for the fourth and final quarter of action. Do you know the fourth quarter is usually the final quarter, JD?
Yeah, that is usually the final one.
But it's not always.
It isn't always.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah,
you
so
gotta,
overtime.
yeah,
So
yeah.
little sports trivia for y'all here.
it's most of the time.
All right, so it's a 12-point advantage here for the Tyler Heat going into the last 8 of the ball game here. stop me when you've heard this before. Anderson bringing it up, but already kicked it over before I could even get my joke out here. Now here is Starr working with it. Kicks over to Hartman.
Should say it. I don't know if Anderson has taken a seat on that bench yet in this game.
I don't know if he has. And now, of course, we've seen him with active hands on the defensive side, coming away with a lot of steals. He's got a couple of points, but really it's just that kind of steadiness of him. You can tell he's kind of got that cool demeanor to him, and I think that's that nice, cool, steady-handed, point guard style that you don't see a ton anymore, so it's kind of nice to see that old throwback style for sure, as that was Jaden Collin that was called for the foul, results in a couple of shots for Hartman, who drained the first one there. Went 0 of 2 this last time on the line, so trying to redeem himself, and he does. Going perfect that time. So lazy inbound pass there goes to Gibbs. Luckily there was no heat around to pick it up. So it's just little things we're seeing here from the Panthers tonight. We're not used to, again, still morning. Just not used to seeing, yeah. So that time Collin, he was short on the first one, a little long on that one. That's going to be an interesting call. Let's see what they come up with here. And it will. All right, so that was a good job there by Dalen Gibbs. Kind of just ripped away possession and put up a shot in the middle of that chaos. It resulted in kind of a, unavoidable penalty or foul there for number 15, Trey Madrid. So I apologize, Trey, the first time we say your name. It's about a penalty. I have kind of a thing about that. Again, I don't mean to tell old war stories or anything, as Dalen Gibbs knocks down the first of his 2 shots. But my senior year of high school, we got to play a game on TV. It was just like local TV, but it was pretty cool, you know what I mean, at the time, as Gibbs knocks down the second. They mentioned my name one time, and it's when they said Honey got away with the hold on that one. So I kind of have a thing. I don't like to mention people just once whenever they make a mistake. So.
Hey, man, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly. So nice little cutting pass, just not quite able to take advantage of it was Hartman, but it was a beautiful pass in by Starr. But ball ends up out of bounds. They say last touch by a Panther. So Anderson going to be doing the inbounding here. Kicks out to Hartman, gives right back over to Anderson. So looking for something to do here in the corner. Just kind of running a 2-man game with Hartman. Now Hartman looks like going to try and set up the offense. Kicks back over to Anderson. And looks like Heat are just kind of happy to kind of dribble this thing out a little bit. As Anderson waited all the way until the ref started counting for non-activity before actually making a move. Does it again, and that's kind of, that's the kind of the thing we're talking about there with Eli Anderson, kind of that old school point guard. He's got good handle.
Good knowledge of the game.
Good knowledge of the game. Kind of a second coach out there, and then we'll go finish with a little English with the left-hander. Yeah, that kid's he's got a little something to him for sure. So remains a 14-point deficit here. It's going to be a 3-point shot for Carter Sims.
He's got it.
Found his shot here in the fourth quarter, it looks like. Cuts it all the way down to an 11-point lead. Let's see if it results in something here for the Panthers. Anderson again going to work it. Gives over to Starr. Starr kicks over to Hartman and going to be out of bounds. I was thinking there was an out of bounds, but no.
Thinking they called an offensive foul of some kind there. I believe on number
moving
42
screen
there, Mr. Aiden Shelton.
Yeah, just based on the position that Mr. Shelton plays, I'm going to say that was probably a moving screen that was called. I did see something that looked like a block call, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know all the hand signs of basketball like I do know all the hand signs of football, at least most of them. So, all right, Perkins working with it, kicks into Gibbs. Gibbs trying to get in low, off front rim. See who they say it goes off of.
Looks like it's going to stay with Mabank here.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to say it too loud, but I think they got lucky on that one.
Yeah.
Gibbs going to be doing the inbounding. Gets to Carter. 3. Oh. Again, Luke Carter just had a little bit of trouble from that three-point land today. And again, these guys coming off coming right off of Christmas, going right into a big tournament there in Allen.
talking to Coach Carter before the game, he said there was 3 16-team brackets, kind of higher end, and they were on the lower end of that bracket. You know what I mean? Like they were one of the low-end guys because they were one of the smaller schools that were there. I mean, Allen High School, for anybody who doesn't know, I want to say they have 10,000 kids, and it's sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And then they have like another 2,500 at their freshman center at any one time. So, I mean, that is a massive school district. So, that just telling you about the host city right there tells you about the size and caliber of teams that they would be bringing in. You know what I mean? So
it's like substitution going to be made from Mabank here. Pinland comes off, and Mr. Matthew Cruz comes back into the game.
And keep in mind, Mabank rocking a 9-man bench right now, but they do have a call-up right now. It's number Cullen
10.
McFall. So he's a JV player. His 3-point shot there for Carter, no good. Rebounded
Still trying
by
to shoot
Sims.
himself out of it.
Yeah, you know what? That's okay. Work it out here. Go ahead and get it done with. But, yeah, they had that JV call-up just to kind of bolster their numbers because Coach told me they only had 7 that were able to make that trip. So these guys are going to be a little worn down just playing a lot of basketball after taking that little break there for Christmas. Yeah. And it's a UIL-mandated 5-day moratorium break for these guys. So they didn't play any basketball for 5 days. That's a nice little scoop and score there for Luke Carter. Brings it back down to an 11-point deficit. Halfway through this fourth quarter, 3 minutes, 55 seconds left to go. Anderson working with the ball again, not in any hurry here, are these Heat. John Hall, who's back into the ball game, working with it now. He's been back in the ball game. I just hadn't mentioned his name in a while. So.
Looks like a timeout's going to be called by the Heat.
Yep. So, again, district action going to be starting back up here on Friday. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. It's the 3rd, so I just assumed it was Friday, but I was right. So, be right back here. Again, girls going to be starting off at 6:15, boys at 7:30. And that will be against the Lady Vandals and the Vandals. So, and they're typically a pretty tough ball club as well, one that we expect to be fighting, for one of those playoff spots in this district. So, definitely one to be tuned into.
I believe that'll be our second time watching the girls play the Lady Vandals, as we saw them that first time in the tournament, I believe.
That is correct, actually. Now that you say that, that is absolutely correct. So,
don't ask me how I remembered that. But, just came to me.
You're 10 years younger than me. You got 10 years less worth of memories and dumb facts. I'm the guy that I'm totally that guy that has a million dumb facts. You know what I mean? So that is me.
As far as when I can recollect them, yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
Right. Isn't it funny how memory works? Speaking of those Lady Panthers, JD, I honestly just looked up and saw they're actually in the building here. Coach Sutton and the rest of the crew hanging out, watching their Panthers play a little bit. Pretty decent crowd, too, for an 11 o'clock game, 11 o'clock start here in Mabank. Stop me when you've heard this. Anderson working with the ball, gives over to Hartman. Now Hall with it. Nice little poke away there by Dalen Gibbs, not able to collect it, but at least something to think about.
And
this
Perkins
time
going to take it away.
And,
Gibbs tries to get the putback and ends up getting fouled in the process, so he'll now head to the line for his second time to shoot some free throws.
Yeah, and get kind of bailed out by the foul there. Don't really love it. Want to see a little bit more control from Gibbs on that second chance shot. But, heat of the moment. And whenever you're quite possibly the best athlete on the floor, it's difficult to get those kind of thoughts out of your mind. You know what I mean? Hey, those some clutch free throws right there, bringing it back within single digits, 38-47. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
There it is.
It's funny whenever you start talking for, a living or just talking a lot, you realize how short it actually takes to say something. As Gibbs is going to be fouled.
And
one. So a little life here. Better late than never from the Panthers.
Seems to be riding off the momentum of Mr. Dalen Gibbs here.
Yeah.
Getting active.
Dalen A lot of times he's got his hair up in some kind of way, but today it's kind of long hair, don't care. It's kind of working out for him, you know what I mean? I kind of dig it. Kind of a
Got his
different
little
vibe.
headband on there, keeping it out the eyes, and just rolling with it.
Ooh, almost comes away with another steal, but does miss the free throw. Coming for another one. And let's say it rolled off the leg. Let's see if they say it rolled off the leg.
And right there, that is what we mean by getting active, is Dalen Gibbs makes up for missing the free throw and potentially causes the turnover here. Oh, they're going to give it to the Heat.
Yeah, going to come together and say it's the Heat. Got a friendly rapport with the referees here, so didn't look me in the eye because he doesn't want me saying that was a bad call.
As now it looks like a little bit of pressure going to come from Mabank, as they're going to try to force some mistakes here.
Yeah, it was a great trap there between Gibbs and Perkins. Just didn't quite get the result, but pretty textbook there. As Perkins still working. Going to be a foul called. I believe that is going to go on Ty. It is. Just a little too physical, impeding his way to the bucket. Carter almost comes away with the steal. Whoa. Hey, that was pretty athletic little move there for Luke Carter. Oof. Yeah, that scared me right there, watching him jump over that rail like that.
Man, that made my knees hurt.
Oh, I'm telling you. It's amazing what these kids don't know yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Three-point shot for Hartman. Almost gets a friendly bounce. Hall tried to put it back in, couldn't get one. Now Gibbs gonna take contact during the shot, and again will be going to the free throw line. Almost able to slither his way through for a better shot opportunity, but either way, he does draw the contact.
And with that foul, it also puts Mabank in the bonus. So.
Oh, good call, JD. And timeout going to be called here, I believe, by Coach Carter. So just wants to give maybe Gibbs a second to kind of breathe and recuperate before this chance at a couple, but also knows you've got I don't remember exactly what was on the clock now. I wasn't looking, but I believe you're in the neighborhood of 2 minutes here. So kind of give these guys one last little rest up for this big charge. Kind of going over some plans here as well. Got the big board down, drawing things out. Can't see what he's drawn, but I see squiggles and circles going down like a madman over there. So the mad scientist over there drawing something up.
With his organized chaos.
That's exactly it. Well, again, we've seen more life here from the Panthers over the last, minute and 40 seconds than we'd seen in quite some time, all the way down to a 7-point deficit, with Gibbs going to have a chance to drop it all the way down to 5 here with no time coming off the clock. Everybody get real quiet. First one is good. I told you
he's gone perfect today so far.
Yeah, telling you, I'm a fan first, so I'm going to be quiet during these free throws here.
Man, I just had to say something, didn't I?
And Cruz going to collect the rebound, and
I think they called a jump ball there. So it's going to end up staying on this side of the court with Mabank.
So Gibbs, a little high pass over to Carter. Now Gibbs with it again, gets a feed into Cruz. Cruz, using the size and the strength, draws it down to a 4-point deficit. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go here.
Pressure coming in from Mabank.
Anderson kind of trapped, and going to be a timeout called by the Heat staff. So great job here by the Panthers, putting the pressure on the Heat. Pardon the pun, but the heat is on.
Yeah, as they are now 1 second under 2 minutes to go left in this one. And Mabank seems to be the ones playing from behind, but playing with control at the moment. So,
well, speaking of control, I want to give a little shout out to another team here at this Mabank High School, I guess is the way to put it. The Mabank Lady Panthers soccer team, man.
took out the Palestine Lady Cats 3-2. For anybody that doesn't know anything about soccer, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big soccer aficionado. I don't know a bunch, but I did spend last year working at the Palestine Herald Press, so I did see my fair share of Palestine soccer. Last year, the UIL named Palestine the number 10 school of soccer in the entire state, regardless of division. So they have been ranked historically as the 10th best soccer program in Texas. So to get a win over them at any point is a big deal. So congratulations to those Lady Panthers pulling off that 3-2 win over Palestine yesterday.
Nice work by Luke Carter working on the rebound down there.
And he is fouled as well.
And he's in the bonus, so he's going to go shoot some free throws.
Oof. Luke Carter with
man,
that
he's got some quarterback capability.
I'm telling
in
you,
him, man.
Wonder if I was Caden Penland, I might have been over at my basketball teammate saying, "Hey, buddy, you want to come make the room better?" Like those two together would have been, whew. They're fun to watch on a basketball court. I bet they'd be fun on a football field too. As Luke Carter hitting the clutch free throw down to a 3-point deficit. Again, being quiet for my boy Luke here. Oh,
got it.
That one had me beating the extra little heartbeat there.
Yeah, that was a skip-a-beat moment.
With the full trap going here. And Heat almost throw it away, but able to collect, able to get back to the big man on the other end. That is Shelton, able to cherry pick a couple of points on the other end. Here is Perkins going to be working with the basketball. 4-point deficit, minute 25 to go here. Mabank going to have to get on their horse, kick down to Colin. Colin finds a backdoor cut. Carter, but smartly Carter doesn't try and collect that. Just lets it roll out of bounds. Keeps possession in the hands of the Panthers. It's going to be Gibbs inbounding from underneath, and a timeout going to be called by Coach Carter. So again, have crawled back into this thing. Was a 14-point deficit, I believe, with right around 5 minutes to go in this ball game, JD. They have clawed it back to a 4-point difference here. And Coach Carter going to take a long break. So, definitely been a that's what I'm saying. I'm running out of things that I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, again, just to talk about the shortness of this bench, we haven't seen there's not a lot of extra guys there on the bench. It's kind of this is a team that plays kind of its top guys, kind of rotates them in and out, but not a whole lot. So just being able to keep up and keep the energy going again after taking a long break, again, for basketball, taking 5 days off is a long break. Then going back, playing, 4 or 5 games in a tournament against some really tough competition. Then coming right back to play another ball game against a team that is, again, this is not a team that I don't want to say necessarily like they're a recruiting team or anything like that, and there's nothing against them, obviously, at all for that, but this is a team that can kind of select from a wider pool, you know what I mean? They don't have a school district that they have to necessarily draw from, so they can kind of have a little bit more choice options on who is on this team. So this is a pretty good ball club, Going to be another foul here. Not quite sure. Did see that Cruz ended up on the ground. Foul going to be called against number 10, I believe.
Mr. Starr going to get caught for the foul there.
I believe that would be his first. Or no, I guess it was 20 that they called it on. They called it on Hall. Looked like a one from this way. Oh, almost down. Cruz has one bounce around all over. It doesn't go down. Well, that is something to keep in mind. Now, only a minute 19 to go, but Hall does have 4 fouls, so one more and he is out. Second one for Cruz is good.
It's only a 3-point ball game now.
One possession here. 2 at max. .30-second timeout going to be called by the Heat. And I'm telling you, for nothing happening on the court, that got real tense there for, not tense, but that got real intense there for a second. Both teams kind of moving pieces around the chessboard. I think the officials were finally saying, all right, guys, what are we going to do here? And Tyler Heat breaks. Oh, again, I say all these things and I don't mean to sound negative. So if I say I promise it's just sports vernacular, I'm not trying to sound rude. I always worry about that. But they're the one that break first and have to call the timeout. That's what I mean. So, but it was only a 30-second variety, so about to come right back out here. It looks like Mabank going to try and steal a couple of extra seconds here. Looks like referee going to come up, break it up, and here come the Panthers. So going to be Heat inbounding the ball here. They're going to be inbounding from under their own bucket. Or no, excuse me, I'm sorry, going the other way. Everybody was in a trap, so or full court press, so shot, no good, and rebounded. That was Luke Carter. They got the rebound. Here is Gibbs going to try and go to the paint, and he's got one. So 1 point deficit after the Dalen Gibbs goes through the teeth of the defense. Here is Hall with it, kicks over to Hartman. Now Starr with the basketball, trying to slow things down a bit. Anderson now working with it, has Gibbs on him, and Collin as well trying to come up with a double team. Luke Carter gonna take Anderson to the ground.
A little friendly foul there.
Yeah, that was definitely intentional foul.
They've got a couple to spare here, 2 more that they're allowed to commit.
Absolutely. All the way down to 40 seconds left in the ball game here. 49-48, inbound goes to Starr. Now Hartman with the ball, working around, gives to Anderson. Now Perkins trying to come up and attack. Through the teeth and good.
He's got it.
That is Hartman able to get a clutch bucket. Makes it a 3-point lead. Carter fires, no good. Rebounded by Hall, and going to be another foul here, intentional foul for Luke Carter. So that is the last freebie. And another timeout going to be taken by by Heat. I don't know if they have any short ones left. This might be a full timeout. Let's see what they throw up on the board.
Full minute here.
Full, yep. Yeah, so that's another thing for anybody out there that's just kind of watching the broadcast. You know, maybe you got a son that's out here, grandson, nephew, whatever it is, but you're not really a basketball person per se. There's 2 different kind of timeouts in basketball. There's the 30-second and the 1-minute variety. You only get a few of each type. You get less of the 30-second ones because those are just kind of your little quick hitters. Just talk about something real fast. So you'll see the 1-minute ones be used more times whenever they're trying to get either a break, get a play called, something like that. 30-second timeout is really more of just kind of a quick break in the action. Like if the team's going on a run, like we saw with the Heat there, where they maybe went on a 10-point scoring run. Usually you get your guys to kind of stop, get focused, reset. You might call one of those short little 30-second timeouts. So if I ever speculate about what kind of timeout it is, that's what it is. It's either the 30-second or the 1-minute variety. So right under 20 seconds here. Yep.
I'm about to say 19 seconds left to go here in this one. 3-pointer ties it up for Mabank.
The Heat going to be inbounding the ball, so going to have to play some good defense here as well. That's not going to work out as the Heat able to just cherry pick one way down deep. And going to be another intentional foul by Luke Carter. That's going to be his 4th, so if there's another foul, somebody else is going to have to foul. Carter only has that 1 left to give. First shot is good there for Hartman. Stretches it out to a 4-point lead. It's like somebody is like right on top of our wireless microphone over there.
I know. Second one also good for Mr. Hartman.
But I see there's nobody there, so that is a strange thing. I guess we got a ghost in here watching. Is Gibbs going to try and attack again, but it's going to be fouled. So it'll be a couple of shots here coming up for Dalen Gibbs. which again would make it a one-possession game if he can get both of these to go down. And that is going to be Hall's 5th. So he fouls out of the ball game. We'll be sending number 24, Jet Bell, out in his place. First shot for Gibbs. It's nothing but the bottom. Second one coming up here. And good. So again, you're in the bonus here. So we'll be shooting free throws if that happens, right, as I was about to say it. So Jaden Collin going to step up and get the intentional foul this time.
Maybe not the person that you want to be putting on the free throw line.
Quite possibly. But if that's who they get it to, so you got to foul.
Got to do what you got to do.
That's it. So Hartman going to be heading to the free throw line for a couple here. Could balloon it back out to a 5-point ball game. First one is good. Going to take some real effort here, but again, took a lot of effort just to get to the position that they are here for these Panthers as the second one goes down for Hartman. So after being down 14 to come back and make this a respectable ball game as Carter Sims going to take a shot, no good. And they're just going to wave off that final foul, and it will be a victory here for the Heat. But again, we're down, I want to say at one point by as many as like 16 points.
Yeah.
You know, so come back, make this a 5-point deficit to be right there in the game all the way until that final whistle blew. I mean, that's a pretty impressive showing for these guys. Again, coming off of, you know, a lot of after a lot of rest, coming off a lot of play. You know what I mean? So, again, these guys just kind of worn out, but now they got a couple of days to go rest again. Kind of got a good amount of time here, and I'm glad that Coach Carter and the Heat staff came up with this decision to go ahead and play this game at 11 o'clock today. That way these guys have 3 full nights to go home, get rested, and get ready for that first district game coming out of the new year. So
absolutely.
Not the new season, but the new year,
yeah.
Of course. So, but yeah, JD, unfortunately, the Panthers will end 2024 on a loss to the Tyler Heat. But, hey, that's okay. We'll turn over the clocks and the calendars tomorrow and get worried about that district competition with the new year. Can you believe it's already 2025 tomorrow?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, dude, it is crazy. And especially, like, and again, I don't mean to always kind of be the guy talking about from back in the day, but I graduated high school in 2010, so those year fives, they really get to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, it's going to be 15 years since I graduated high school this year.
That's
so
right.
I'm telling you, once you get my age, JD, those are the kind of things you start thinking about. Your back hurts for no reason. I woke up yesterday with the crick in my neck, still haven't been able to get it away, and now I'm almost 15 years out of high school. So if any of you folks out there in Mabank or, you know, you fellow Panthers are out there watching, listen to the old guy talking on YouTube. It seems to be the only people y'all listen to are the people that talk on YouTube. So I'm one of those people now. Listen to me. Enjoy your high school years. Well, all right, JD, anything else you got for this one?
I ain't got much, man. Just great job to the Panthers here in this one. They did a great job fighting their way back into it. They seemed a little, you had said it earlier, a little complacent there in kind of the middle points of that game as the Heat just kind of kept adding on to their lead that they were building. And great job by them to finally flip that switch there in the fourth and figure out a way to make it much more competitive coming down to the wire. You know, a couple different things happened, and this game was completely different. So just great job by them to keep their heads up and keep themselves fighting in it. It's nice to see them kind of fighting from that behind spot for once. Usually they have quite a control on the game as a whole from what we've seen. So kind of nice to see that other side of them and see how they can kind of adapt their play style to be able to work around what they're seeing. And just kind of goes to show you how good these kids are, that they're able to make those kinds of adaptions when they're not used to being in that kind of a situation. So, you know, look forward to seeing them in district play and seeing what kind of adaptions that they can make then.
That sounds good to me, and I couldn't have said it any better, so I'm not going to try to. So, all right, folks. Well, again, for Cedar Creek Media, I'm Taylor Honey.
And I'm J.D. Bird.
We hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Have a good time celebrating tonight, and we'll see you next year.
This concludes tonight's broadcast on Cedar Creek Media. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again soon.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.